and welcome to Havoc Wargaming, dedicated to bringing you the uncommon. For those of you who haven't met me, my name is Ron, and today we're going to do a box opening, or at least say, what does the box contain, for 0200 Hours Partisan Resistance Cell by Great For Now Games. So let's get started. I've done videos here in the past on 0200 Hour Games. I've done at least one video. I participated in their pre-sale. But I've also now bought their new expansion. I want to call this the first expansion, but it isn't really. They did a package of guards, and they did a additional SAS package that was available already. But this one is the first one that wasn't part of that original pre-sale. And this is actually not just the Partisan Resistance Cell. I bought both parts of it, so it's the Partisan Resistance Cell and the Jedburgh, I'm assuming it's pronounced, the Jedburgh Squad. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what comes in the package. So the box is very much like the other box that we already saw. You open it up, and inside we have, I'll probably do that backwards, a lot of plastic sprues, standard bases. They're indented on one side so you can fill them with texture that'll cover up the plastic bases or the metal bases to level those out without having to raise up the whole base. It's cool. They have little holes in the bottom for placing magnets if you want to go that route, just like the ones in the original game. There's a handful of plastic figures. There's 8 multi-part plastic miniatures. So again, these are going to be by Wargames Atlantic, I imagine, and they're a variety of resistance fighters to add to make a resistance squad. A lot of different options here. There's various weapon parts, various heads. I see a scarf, a couple of submachine guns, and there's a grease gun, and looks like it's a Sten, and probably a Schmazer. So nice little selection of plastic figures for your troopers or regular guys. More bases, a bit more bases, just like the first ones we saw. And then they have again done one of their plastic boxes that they do. So we'll look at the figures first. These are the metal figures for the Resistance that were meant to come in the box. So there's 6 here. There's a mixture of male and female. Radio operator, not sure that's focusing. Oh, there we go. So those are the metal figures that come with the Partisan Resistance Cell. Really, hardly any flash on these at all, and sharp looking little figures. They're a little slight. I'm not sure. They look kind of slender compared to some other makers out there. But nice looking figures. Little fragile guns, but what are you going to do? Over here, this is the Jedburgh team itself. So there's 3 of these guys, all in British uniforms, SAS or Para. The Jedburgh teams could be Americans, actually. I don't know if I get enough light in here to see these, but there we go. It's the Jedburgh team itself. One of the things I like about this set is the including of the women. One of the things that the Resistance does, it allows you to have women in the game, which is a way of making the game more diverse and perhaps interesting more female players into the game, and still very fitting to the historical idea. And then these are the cards. Cards look pretty standard. These are the deck of cards. There's the same cards that we saw previous in the early versions of the game. So, Partisan Agent, Astrid, Carla, the Partisan Sniper, we saw her figure earlier, Partisan Operative, Partisan Stalwart, Partisan Radio Man, Partisan Irregular, that's what the regular guys are, Irregulars, or Partisan Recruits, that's the team, Partisan Sergeant, Partisan Officer, then there's the Jedburgh Non-Com, Jedburgh Troopers, a team of 2, Jedburgh Liaison, and a Jedburgh Officer. And there's some plans. The plans are new. I don't really know how they work fully, but the plans are designed for a new plan phase created for the Resistance specifically. So we have, what do we have? Cigarette break, Sentry doesn't move, it messes up with the sentry's movement. Coded message, cut those lines, cut the power, earlier reconnaissance, improvised plan, just a cat, language skills, left unlocked, local knowledge, cow. Map of patrol route, Molotov cocktail, plan of attack, and sausages. Throw a rock. Throw a rock is something a friend of mine wished they had before, and now it's a part of a plan. That's interesting. Useful intelligence, weapon catch. There's a defensive events. There's blocked escape, careless talk, collaborator, hesitation. And then there's this card here, the new rules. This is probably how they're going to add rules to the game in the future. Partisan special rules. Partisan special rules, irregulars and recruits. Partisan irregulars represent fighters with at least a degree of training and experience. They are only recruited individually. Meanwhile, partisan recruits are brave but untrained civilians. As such, they have inferior ability scores and equipment and don't operate singly unless one of the pair is taken out. So it's sort of the difference between the individuals or the teams in the original game, except their qualities are actually different. Operation Jedburgh. Jedburgh teams each consist of 3 men, generally a British or American commander, a liaison officer who was native to the area, France, Belgium, Netherlands, etc., a non-commissioned radio operator. Their role was to meet up with local partisan movement, assist them with planning and leadership, arrange supply drops of weapons and equipment, and coordinate attacks. The recruitment cards provided offer various options, and you are free to choose which Jedburghs are taking part of a specific mission, i.e. you don't have to include 3. Using plan cards, if an attacking force includes partisans, then after choosing the mission and setting up the terrain, but before deployment, shuffle all the plan cards. Count up the number of recruitment cards in the force with the plan keyword and draw that number of plan cards, including certain fighters, such as a Jedburgh liaison, can increase the number drawn. The partisan player then chooses up to 3 of their plan cards to keep and use as described during the game. Certain fighters, such as the partisan officer, can increase the maximum number kept. So that's basically what comes in the box. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I like the idea of extending the game to Resistance. It seems like a natural to follow up the previous package with. In fact, it wouldn't have been a bad idea to do this one first, I don't think. So I think it's going to really add a nice feel to the game, particularly, how many Hollywood movies are specifically based around either a body of resistance or a mixed body of soldiers and resistance? So I think there's a lot of future with this. I'm really looking forward to giving it a chance and trying a 0200-hour partisan game. We'll bring that here on the page as soon as we can. I don't know how many of you have participated or played 0200 hours. If you have played the game, and please give your thoughts about the game down below. I enjoy it. I do think should have a solo version, but I do think it's a fun, enjoyable game, and it's a nice change of pace. And I think this is a good addition to the game. If you enjoy the game, I would recommend looking at getting this package as well. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you have any comments you'd like to make, please make those in the comment section down below. Also, if you have ideas for further content you'd like to see us produce here on Havoc Wargaming, we look for that in the comment section as well. If you've enjoyed the video, I hope that you hit like, and if you'd like to receive further notifications for videos like this one, or other videos that may help you better determine how to spend your money or time in your tabletop wargaming hobby, then I hope you'll hit subscribe and ring our notification bell. Till next time, cheers.